Welcome to the MoistyVoice, episode 50.
Woo! New house rule: if someone starts screaming, everybody must scream.
It'll throw off the invader.
Yeah. if someone who can only use echolocation to find you, and you disorient them by everybody screaming, no one...
Like, if you're about to stab somebody and they scream, and then you hear, like, just as panic screams elsewhere in the house, you're thinking, shit.
Am I the only
someone
one here?
else also robbing this place, and that's competition. You gotta murder people faster to get more money.
I think that was a plot point in, I think, Artemis Fowl, that he taught himself on the spot echolocation. What was it? It was some book. I remember reading it like way the hell ago. And yeah, he's like in a dark room, like prison or something, and he starts coughing, and he notices that like when he coughs, he can feel something. And then he like repeats it and learns that he can echolocate.
Oh no, that was an alien fanfic.
I might have also read that
Yeah.
there, but I want to say it was Artemis Fowl.
No, you read alien fanfic, bro. That's what happens.
Undoubtedly.
That's what happens.
I actually read the script to Covenant 4 years before it hit the screen.
It was a...
Well, that's... Yeah, no,
lot
you
of
watched
sex.
Covenant. That's exactly what happens
There
in
were
Covenant.
only 2 changes made between the leaked copy that had more sex and the final product that did not.
And that was the
James
alien
Franco
sex scene.
was in there for 5 more minutes in the script.
Oh yeah, he was in there.
And David actually did fuck the xenomorphs.
I mean, let's be real. It happened off screen in at least 3 experiments.
Mm-hmm.
How to hybridize human, android, and xenomorph.
Just
Well,
fuck it.
let's start by fucking it and see where that leads.
If I put
Guess
my
I
semen
better
in its
fuck
mouth, if I put my semen in its tiny mouth, will I get a full xenomorph?
He had to try it a few different ways, and then after that he was like, okay, I guess I'll do this the normal cloning,
He got tired of
spicy way.
remaking his
Man,
penis.
that'd be terrible if xenomorphs would just work via semen. Because, like,
Semen
you wouldn't
morphs?
know you'd nut in a gal
just-
or a guy, and it would just, like, from their intestines or womb, rather than their stomach, it would burst out. And
yeah,
I would
it's so
much
much
prefer
worse.
losing my stomach.
Yeah. Like, anywhere, like, belly button and up is fair game. I don't want anything bursting between, like, my belly button and
I don't
my
want
hip.
anything popping out my rib cage. I use that.
It's a
Yeah, no,
switch
it-
cage,
that's-
and it's made to adapt to that.
That's restricted. They can't go out the side. It has to be in between the ribs, because that's just fair.
The rib cage. Do you think the rib cage stops in the center?
Yeah.
I had a doctor cut me open
Stop
and
here.
sharpen the edges of my ridges so that if anything tries that,
It'll die on
eviscerate
the way
itself
out.
Why would
on
you
the
have
way
it
out.
sharpened? Why don't they just put like serrated knives or anything on the inside?
That's how
Because
they
I feel
sharpened
the
it.
constant pain of my bone being so thin. I needed that.
It's always a concern of mine. If I, like, breathe in too much and your stomach expands and then you get, like, a pain, I'm like, oh god, is my rib going through me? Am I gonna die now?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
See, that bothers me when I take in too deep a breath, and then my ribs hit the tumor that's inhibiting my lung, and then I'm like, oh, well, now I gotta think about that. Now I want to address that.
You gotta ignore it.
Yep.
Wait, would you like to dress your tumor?
No.
What?
And just put like a little top hat on it. Draw
No.
a face on it.
No.
I thought you were all Mad Max.
Yeah,
No.
they're your mates.
They are not.
Speaking of dressing up your tumor, I have no transition into this. Somebody did just about the coolest thing you can do with old person blood. Steal
Sold
it and then sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, so
There
expanding
are
on...
better things you could do with old person blood. You could, like,
Steal it.
get a syringe of it,
Okay.
Steal
insert it into your urethra, and fill your balls with it.
So steal it.
No!
I'm just saying, you could
Again, you're kind of
imbue
stuck
your
on the
sperm
stealth.
with the very blood essence of Stan Lee, but instead you just want to sell it.
Well, no, you want to steal it, and then what you do with it after that doesn't matter because you just stole old person blood.
Yeah, that seems... I don't know, does that seem easy or
Is
hard
it
to do?
theft? I don't
It's
think
easy.
they
It's
can
easy. Just
claim
go to a
ownership
retirement
of
home. They
their
won't
blood.
ever remember. If you take enough blood, they'll forget it was you.
If you can't fight for your blood, you don't deserve it. So it's not stealing.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't fight for what you own, you don't deserve to have what you own.
In all fairness,
That's why I pay banks to fight for me.
the people who stole it said that he consented to the idea, and he said that he didn't. And I'm like, I feel like I'm taking the side of the guy who says he didn't want his blood taken, because That just seems like a fair bet to
It
hedge.
is a fair bet, but in the past, I can tell you that you would likely have lost money on a number of cases, because there have definitely been on 2 occasions where I have given people consent and then publicly said no consent on
Don't do that.
blood-related issues.
Okay. But
On
yeah,
blood theft? Or
we want to
just-
know what they did with the blood.
I really do. I want to know what this person...
Urethra, syringe, balls, blood.
They sold comic books stamped with his blood.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
They, according to the basically fake charity at this point, like, I don't think it's a real charity.
Probably fake charity.
It was at his full support and urging, and they used it to stamp DNA ink on comic books as a legacy for his fans.
Whack.
Who wants that?
Me.
You want
Oh,
old
that's
person?
there, yeah.
I mean, now that it's there, but like, I can't imagine that. I mean, this has to be the first instance of like people wanting
Okay.
blood stamped or blood marked anything
No.
in at least 100 years.
No,
Quick
there was
question.
that band that we listened to ages ago that got caught between the U.S.-Canadian border with a bunch of fucking vials of their blood because they were stamping their albums with it and shit, or like signing.
Oh shit!
So I have a really quick
That was
question.
ages ago, but yeah, no, it's actually a really popular thing.
Were those like hero figures or hero clicks things that
Yeah.
like little statues
Yeah,
of each Marvel,
HeroClix.
Marvel figures?
Mhm.
What if we did like the base of those stamped with Stan Lee's blood?
It won't stick, it's plastic.
If anything, you would get like miniatures, and you would use his blood as paint.
What you would do is where they have the spin wheel for the thing and then
Yeah.
like the little arrow or dial, instead of that little like marking, you put in a little glass hollow thing filled with his blood.
Little vial.
Just a tiny little bit of his blood that points to the current health level.
But yeah, apparently people bought the blood comics.
Can we get one of those attached to Stan Lee?
Which means those have. I wonder if
He
there's
can't
any
stop you.
online.
Like,
Stan Lee.
just get like a little thing attached to Stan
Lee.
Lee that tells you what his current health level is.
Low.
Yeah. Right now. Let's see. I want to buy one.
Who is
You
it that
want to
just
buy
had a
one of
heart
those
attack?
comic books?
Well, I want to know
you
what
want
it
to buy
costs.
Stan Lee's Blood Money comic books?
Yeah,
I
I'm
wanna
gonna
know
make
what
a
it
Stan Lee
costs.
clone at the same age and then beat him up.
Oh, they haven't done the auction yet. So there's just like a house. There's time. We can just go break in. Clearly, nothing is being monitored like within 500 feet of him.
Oh, yeah.
So just get him near the comics while they turn off all the cameras.
If there's one thing I've learned from situations like this, it takes a second situation of such importance for them to actually then change their methods. Nothing will change with the security or other lifestyle after this, until we do it.
Stanley's solvent DNA ink. It was marketed as hand stamped using Stanley's solvent DNA ink. And then when they found out it was blood, the bookstores like pulled it. They were like, "What?" And I was like, "What did you think it was? What who read solvent DNA ink and thought that's probably not something super weird?" This
Yeah.
story just gets more and more like everyone involved just gets more confusing to me the more I read about
Well,
it.
that's because there's more people getting involved, so the more confusing they make it, no one's at fault after that.
I want to sell these for money. I want to break in, steal all of them,
Sell
have
them
all of
back
his
to them.
blood.
Sell them back to them, because that's a good way to do it.
Here you go. Hold it ransom. And then they'll be able to sell it at a higher price at the charity auction.
Yeah, no,
really,
just like-
I'm just helping them make more money for charity.
Like, open up your trench coat,
Yeah.
and then just say, "Hey, kid, you want to buy a blood comic or something?"
Blood comics. Now that I think about it, I'm surprised that like
It took this long to happen.
like Vampirella and like Grimm's Fairy Tales and those kinds of like the really gory, like known for being gory type comics. I'm surprised they haven't had their artists do something like that
It'd
yet.
have been too much. It'd have been over the top, and at that point, it would have just been comical.
This isn't?
No.
I wonder what the stamp's gonna look like, or does look like. I don't know.
Hopefully, it's just his face in agony.
We took this from
Just
him after
Stan
we-
Lee wearing the glasses that he never takes off, and instead of that smile, it's just
No, it's just him at night.
No, it's
and it's just like you see the IV draining his blood out.
I imagine it's just a really long stamp with a quote that says, "Please don't draw my blood." ? quoted Stanley.
As
Yeah.
he drew his blood.
Please stop taking my blood, said Stanley.
I imagine it's just like Stanley at this point is the old man in the chair from the Always Sunny episode where Dee gives birth. Where he's just sometimes lucid and going around, and then just all of a sudden, please don't throw me in the trash. And it's like, Stanley, shut it.
No, I think it's more so just like Stan Lee has just given up, and he doesn't know what to do because no one listens to him about anything.
He just waits for that head lady at Marvel. Oh no, the head lady's Lucas. He just waits for the head person at Marvel to be like, "Hey, we got a cameo, come out."
Isn't that just Feige?
And then he just sits in a chair
Just
all
Kevin.
day, waiting for a phone call to say, "Come to lot 16."
Feige? Feige?
I think it's Phage.
Feige?
Fiji.
Phasing.
Kevin Feige.
I don't.
Kevin.
Kevin Spacey.
We're gonna call him Kevin.
Oh, Kevy.
Old Keverkins.
Who the fuck has that?
Yo, Grizzle McPriggles. Best guy.
What?
I don't know.
Made me think of Grizzle McPriggles.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you go to Coachella this year, Connor?
I did not because
I didn't want to
it
kill
actually
myself.
supports a lot of hate institutions, and I'm not about that.
It's a pretty bad show, but you know who was there?
Yodeling boy who supports hate institutions.
Probably. Did you see the way he was dressed?
Yep.
He was
For
asking
Walmart?
for it.
He is very clearly wearing an outfit that says, "Look at me, I support hate institutions."
I also write hate mail.
Steal his look.
I don't get it. Like, when they show up on, like, Ellen or whatever, it's one thing. And in the YouTube Rewind thing, but, like...
Him going to Coachella is the equivalent of him being on Ellen to me.
I don't know. It just seems...
Anybody showing up on Ellen
Whack.
for their 15 minutes is stupid to me.
That's, like, everyone.
Yeah. I just don't like Ellen as a show. As a person, she's cool.
She is. She does good things. Like, be a good role model for short haircuts. For all people.
For all people. Yeah, no, the part where you just specified makes you a bad person.
No, like, if you go into a hair salon, they actually have a book called just Ellen, and it's just, like,
It's
various...
just every single haircut she's ever had on every episode.
If it's ever distinctly different from another image of her, they add it into the catalog.
See, this one, her hair might look like it's kind of messy, but it's not.
See, this
It's
one
styled.
is a gelled look. This one is a natural bedhead. This one, it's like that much longer. That much longer.
It's significant.
And it's just a book
I mean, half
of, like,
an inch is half an inch.
the same pose, too. They somehow managed to get the exact same picture of her every time.
I wish that I had just the facial control that every picture I took was always the same exact expression.
Like,
That would
no.
be
I want it to
scary,
be
yeah.
so, like, even if you're in the middle of getting your photo like, you're smiling and having a conversation, and someone just really quick throws it up, takes a photo, it's just... they didn't see your face do that, but, like, the frame the photo took it, it's just back to normal.
I just need it to be anytime someone looks at photos of me, they all look photoshopped. Because it's the same face.
And it's not a good face, like, for photos. Like, if you were to pick a face, you wouldn't pick this one.
Oh, God,
it's just
no.
way neutral. And just, like, you don't look mad, but you don't look happy, and not in the way the Mona Lisa does. Like, just in a way that says, please, help.
So I don't know nothing about art, because I ain't cultured and whatnot.
Mhm.
And also, the Mona Lisa is ugly as fuck.
Let's be real, people. It's just a... Why was it so famous?
I don't know. He was
I-
working on it up until he died. That's what I was getting to. It was actually... It's
Really?
still technically a work in progress, because he never felt that he
We don't
finished
know
it.
what she's smiling about.
We should go finish it.
I don't care enough.
Just dip your balls
If you
in
get
paint.
me near the Louvre, I want to burn it to see how that works.
Dip your balls in paint and then just, like smear it against...
I just
Mona
want to know
Lisa.
at what point the glass pyramid, like, explodes from fire raisins.
Lord will write a song about it.
Yeah. It'll be great.
It'll be really good.
And then we'll have a song about us. And all we have to do is burn down, like, one of the most important art museums in the world.
I mean, how does the Louvre stack next to Library of Alexandria?
I said art
Pretty
museum.
fucking low, right?
That
well,
was
hey,
a
books
library.
are art, bro.
That was
Books
a
are art.
library.
If you're going to burn a place and it's not as important as the Library of Alexandria, you're fine.
Yeah, that'll be my justification for any arson. Like, it's not as bad as what they did.
It's just,
Hey, buddy.
There is a
I'm
bar
just
that
saying,
almost nobody
I hung
can
out with
top.
a lot of fucking people that burned things down. You know what I gotta say? I'm not the worst of them.
I really can't. What would be worse?
Nothing.
At most, it would be like a simultaneous burning of all of Google's servers. Like
That would
every.
be helpful, actually.
Because that would be probably the closest equivalent you can get to the amount of loss that would be created from that. So there we go. That's all we got to do.
Just burn Google?
Just burn Google.
Well, like, what company do you think has the most storage in the world?
Google.
Tupperware?
Shut the fuck up.
I think there's more Tupperware than there is physical representations of stored data
I
in
think
Google.
Tupperware is probably the company with the most storage in the world.
In fact, I feel like there's more Tupperware in this. There's enough Tupperware in this state alone to store and keep fresh for days all of Google.
We can store all of Google in our Tupperware.
Where are you going with this bad joke?
Because it's a
Don't
good
support
joke.
him.
I'm just.
Please
Worrying
support
about
me
his
on
backward
Patreon, SoundCloud.
Is this Salad Cloud?
Salad Cloud.
Salad Clown.
Salad Cloud.
It's our new website. Don't look at it. It's very
It's
pornographic.
just a sad clown.
No, it's like salad fingers and sad clowns. Salad clown.
It's just sad pandas and Suicide Watch.
Huh. What was that from?
The fucking what do you mean? What is that from? That's from the greatest E3 press expo ever.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Devolver Digital.
What's the point of E3 anymore? They
Just
they
you
beat it.
gotta
They
won.
beat it.
Yeah.
The point of this year's E3 is I'm really hoping to see another glimpse of either Call of Cthulhu or The Sinking City, because they both look amazing.
Yeah.
Just crazy good.
Fair enough.
Dying for them. I spent 5 minutes earlier today looking at both of them just at their websites.
Somebody from CD Projekt Red might walk out onto a stage,
No.
wave their hand, and
No.
then leave.
Don't make that fucking joke. If they did, they would be murdered.
They do that, and then they immediately go into witness protection.
Oh yeah.
They do that, and someone just throws a knife at them.
Motherfuckers just beep on the Cyberpunk Twitter.
The best part would be if someone threw a knife at them and it's just a hologram.
I want there to
Apparently,
be
there was a lot of PS5 rumors going around last week.
yeah, which was kind of weird. I
It was
don't.
really weird, right?
Yeah, I don't.
is
think
it
they're
about
gonna do
time
that.
for that?
No.
No,
It's
because
another
of the
2 or
PS4
3 years.
Pro, I wouldn't say 2 or 3 years. I could see it next summer. I could even see earliest this holiday season, but ideally, next console life starts next summer.
Ideally, for my budget, it doesn't.
Oh god, no.
It's usually like a year to 2 years after Nintendo catches up, right?
It's a bad.
No,
That's
it's a
that
2 and a
time scale
half.
doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah, you know, it's just I'm gonna be sad now because the Switch. Are they starting to kill off 3DS games because the Switch came out?
No, actually, they're having a hard time with it because they technically have created 2 portable systems that are in direct competition with each other.
Yeah, and I thought that's what they were trying to make every single
They're more or less
3DS game come out on the Switch now.
they're kind of right now the decision seems to be to partition their library of like if the audience is X, it goes on the 3DS. If the audience is Y, it goes on the Switch. But it'll probably be like all games that are for kids will go on 3DS. And you know games
Hopefully
that
Monster Hunter hangs out on the Switch then.
games that like companies want to just have a market for, like they want to put something on a Nintendo console but don't want to deal with the Switch.
So Bayonetta.
They can still no Bayonetta's going to be on the Switch. It's Switch
already
exclusive.
on there. It's already on there.
Yeah, 3 is Switch exclusive.
I know.
But I'm saying like if they want, you know, there's a lot of small tiny games that are on 3DS, like
Has
way
been,
too many.
Yeah, there's
Or really regular DS, but even 3DS, especially now that they're basically going to kill the 3DS and make everything 2DS, which is fair.
Did we ever get the Switch exclusive Pokemon?
not yet.
No.
There's
Was it
nothing
like
for that.
Codename Stars or something.
They still haven't actually said
The
anything about it.
2017 they had the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I think.
Did they hit Switch?
No.
No, those were
What the fuck?
3DS.
They said that there is an upcoming untitled Pokemon RPG.
But like you got to think,
But not
Pokemon puts out a
what it
new
is.
game every 3 years. With 1 year after the game comes out, they put out like the Legendary Edition, I guess you would call it, where it's basically the whole game plus bonus content and patch notes
I
balances.
know what they do. I just
So like we've got another year.
also they fucked that up after what was it, like Pearl?
Yeah,
When Platinum came out, and then
Yeah,
they did
like because it was great where it was the two versions and then the one, and
Yeah.
now
That
it's
was
the two
combined,
versions
both of them.
and then the super versions of those.
Yeah.
it's
because
just
it was like Black and White, Black 2, White 2, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
yeah, and or X and Y, and then they never did. Did they ever do Z?
I think so.
I don't think so.
No.
I think X and Y had some sort of
no.
tied together.
No, I don't think they did actually.
No, yeah, X and Y just kind of like
Fizzled.
that was the end of it.
And then
I
I,
don't
think
know.
they
I kind of stepped out after Emerald.
I stepped
Fair.
out with freaking Sun and Moon. I just could not care for Z-Moves.
No, yeah, they did some weird stuff. The world was great, and like the story of it is super fun. but-
Yeah, it was interesting. It's just I beat the game, and I'm like, well, this was anticlimactic. My Wailord can do a double lariat. That's it. I'm done.
I've achieved peak Pokemon.
Exactly.
You know how many 24-year-olds there are within 15 miles of us?
Enough that Pokemon Go is still popular.
Actually, yeah.
Exactly.
Stefan has a Pokemon Go bracelet.
A lot of people still. I
Fucking-
mean, we live on a college campus, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what there also is? So we're surrounded by like 4 different churches. There's like, and you know what they say about church? They're all Poke Centers for some reason.
That's how you make money.
Yeah, you
Gotta get that church money.
Yeah, you gotta get that church money. You gotta get Pokemon Jesus in there.
Get Pokemon money for Jesus. That is our calling.
Steal Jesus' money and give it to the Pokemons.
Jesus doesn't have money.
Yeah, he does. Are you
Jesus
telling me that
blood stamped
church?
comics.
Are you
Oh,
telling me
that
that my church doesn't give my money to Jesus himself?
They wire it to him at the end of every month, like
if you're
rent.
going to use Jesus' blood for one commercial product, it'd be condoms, right?
Where?
No, I feel like I'd still stick with goat skin and goat blood.
Oh yeah, just goat skin, Jesus blood condoms.
Doing it old school.
Yeah, no, goat skin condoms, man.
This is what the
if you
Puritans
fuck a
would
goat
do.
and it doesn't die, or if you fuck a goat and it doesn't
Just
get
hope
pregnant,
for some weird divine monstrosity to come out of there, I guess.
yeah, you get some weird Minotaur thing, and then someone's really hyped up
Jesus
building
was not
labyrinths.
part bull.
I'm kind of ready for Margaret Atwood to come out with this. This is why she's trying to get everyone back to Puritan era. Is like, this is the aesthetic, guys. Also, like, goatskin condoms with mystery blood lube. Don't ask about it. I'm just...
The blood keeps the woman from getting pregnant.
How
this is
old
good.
she?
She's like 2000. She was around when
No,
the
no,
Puritans were around.
She's not older than Ric Flair. You take that back.
I can't shut up about Ric Flair.
I can't.
He's very old. And he's still wooing.
Yeah, no. His daughter actually took up his mantle.
Yeah, and she
Jesus
woos
Christ.
too.
Yeah,
When did the
she.
Locust God fuck somebody?
It was a dark time.
The Heckma opened.
People had sex
That's when
with
his penis
wrestlers.
came out.
Yo, protection of the Heckma is great if you have a 4 of. It's just
Just a fact
reduce
there.
4 damage
Yeah,
on
that's
anything.
Yeah, no. He's got a point there.
I do. Unless they just drop 1 ley line, I guess.
I'm gonna see what else we've
Now
got.
we MTG now. This is
No,
the
we're talking about
Magic the
MTG.
Gathering
Oh,
podcast.
Okay,
that's a bad
so-
time.
Michael built a god deck. Let's
It's
talk about that.
15 fucking gods. Every single god from Theros block shoved in that deck. 4 Chromanticores, 8 mana doofs. 2 of those fucking anvil things lets you search for legendary creatures and then just put it in hand.
Yeah.
And I have a problem.
Yeah, you do.
So Michael did not know about Progenitus.
Praise be unto him.
Michael, of all people,
Surprised.
did not know about Progenitus.
I now own 2 copies of
had
Progenitus.
to
a
show him
pretty fun card.
Progenitus for his god deck for devotion reasons.
yeah, it kind of gets you there. Or it
Yeah.
gets you over halfway there on any of them.
It actually gets you 1 pip away from any of the
Yeah,
dual
one
colors.
Progenitus with any god just requires you to have 1 of any other color.
Yeah, exactly. And then Chromanticore's there.
And then Chromanticore's there.
I mean, Chromanticore's always there. You might think that Chromanticore like doesn't exist anymore, but that's where you're wrong.
Progenitus is annoying because unless you have a ley line, you can't kill him.
You can make him sack it.
Yeah,
And then he goes back into library.
There are a bunch of roundabout ways to do it, but
Yeah.
like because I have a lot of global damage stuff.
Exile
Those
all
don't take care
attacking
of them.
creatures. Yeah, I think
don't play
Settle
white.
the Wreckage would do it. I think that, yeah. There's a few, yeah,
a
they're
few.
not ideal, but yeah.
I'd have to
there's-
use like a Bantu's Reckoning, but I want my lands to untap next turn.
Yeah.
It's a bitch to deal with, and I'm happy. So, you know those stupid Amonkhet lands that are like tap, add 1 gray mana,
Yeah.
or pay 5 tap, add 5 mana of any color? That plus Prophet of the Krufix, the god, works phenomenal together.
Yeah.
Just that's my game plan on how to play Progenitus. That's
Just bank mana.
bank mana or Kiora's followers for it. Well, plus every single land is a
Huh.
temple.
Somehow we managed to talk about E3 without talking about Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that's because it was
That's the first
It
in
was
like 3
unrelated.
years.
It was unrelated.
So Kingdom Hearts released a weird trailer of a bunch of. You remember?
Game & Watch.
Just I guess really just our generation was the last to have them.
Yeah.
Those handheld, really bad black and white games that were really simple.
You
You
used to
mean
be
the
able to
Game
get them
Boy
from
games?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
They're just the Game Boy games, really.
No, they're like straight up
very
Game
different.
& Watch LED.
Are
like-
you talking about like the really shitty plastic ones that like
Yeah,
the controls
yes.
wouldn't respond?
You
Okay.
straight up could get it
Yes.
from McDonald's in a toy.
I
at one
remember that.
point.
Now, like the second you mentioned McDonald's,
Yeah.
it just clicked in my mind.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is like 10 of those for no reason.
Yeah, they got your
Did you
Mickey
not watch the
and
trailer?
I didn't
and
actually.
Sora.
I completely forgot to watch the trailer.
They're dooting around. They're
There's
looking
nothing
cute.
else in the trailer either. It's just them playing the games.
Yeah, it's like they're
So-
sitting there in Twilight Town or something that looks like it, and then you go on the screen, and then it's just.
Is
dooting.
there going to be a companion mobile game for Kingdom Hearts 3?
Hopefully.
There might be.
I
A lot
mean,
of games do companion mobile apps, right?
Really? Name one.
Fallout,
Fortnite.
Battlefield.
Fortnite.
Shut the fuck up.
What did Battlefield do?
Oh, it allows you to, like, on the fly, see what your community is doing, what your squad is doing, change loadouts, check challenges and stuff.
Dang.
Okay.
For people that play
Oh
Battlefield
no!
the way it's
And
meant
that's
to be
the only way
played,
to
it's
make your
really,
emblem.
really good.
That was the way to make your emblem as
And
well.
then also make the emblem, yeah.
Okay.
Fallout
It was
Shelter
okay.
was fun.
Fallout, like the
Oh no, the companion
companion
apps
app.
to games.
The
Fallout
physics,
Shelter
like
is
it-
unrelated.
it literally does nothing if you have the game.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 has a Pip-Boy app where
Yeah.
you can just 100 affect game real-time inventory and shit. And if you bought the Pip-Boy thing, then you put your phone in there and just do that.
Be an idiot, yeah. But so I think the most interesting thing about that is if someone else hooked up to your PS4, maybe,
Knack did it right.
and then they just decided, hey,
Knack had a companion app.
I
They killed
hope.
service for it in February.
Yeah.
For Knack 1.
God.
So if you're just kind of sitting there
Poor
playing
Nick.
Fallout 4, and then someone's like, hey, I wonder how they would feel if I dropped their entire inventory on the ground.
Problem is you have to connect to the PS4.
I know.
Yeah.
And Samantha's hooked up to it.
Alright, well, you let her.
Yeah, I did.
This was your mistake to make, and you made it.
Yep.
Your second mistake was buying Fallout 4, and your third mistake was buying it for console.
I bought that.
I actually
on-
got.
Oh,
I
wait,
actually
you-
borrowed
you
it for console.
midnighted
just
it.
because-
I made one hell of a mistake, but we're talking about Michael right now.
I would say I bought that
Okay.
week 1, and then I was like, oh, wait, you got me on that one.
So, I want to go back and talk to this story about just
I don't.
midnight releases. I've been to 3, and Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
Mass Effect, and I can't fucking remember what the third one was.
Probably another Monster Hunter.
I think it might have been Persona.
Yeah, I could see that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it might have been Persona 3 actually. Because I was really young when I remember the first one was yeah, it was Persona 3 when I was a little fucking baby, and
Well, there we
Michael
go.
with the short shorts.
We figured it out. So, what about him?
Like I have
The Monster
never
Hunter one was easy as fuck.
I have never had a bad midnight release because every single one went exactly like that Monster Hunter one. I never had a problem with them.
You just
And then
walk in, walk out?
just walk in, like maybe they have a slight line, but like the line's orderly. Everybody already has their ticket number, and they just let you in the door, hand it to you, and you walk out. Never had an issue with it. Then Connor tells me about his fuck fest to get Fallout 4, and I just could not believe Like, how could someone have mismanaged it this poorly?
I don't think you told this on podcast before.
Never
It's
has.
not a story I want to relate.
Relate it.
I'll give the broader details of it was the only GameStop in like I think 20 or 25 miles, which is one significant factor.
Woo!
Because we have one about every 5 or 10 here.
Yeah, here.
We've got about one every 3 miles. It's hard to throw a stone and not hit
they've
one.
cut down a little bit.
No, there's only the one up here. Then there's next one's like 4 miles away.
No,
There are
there are a lot
within-
that you also don't know about. They
There are
hide.
4 within 5 miles of us
Yeah.
that
Oh.
I know of.
Oh,
So yeah, it's it's like the only GameStop to go for a long while,
Mm-hmm.
and so it gets thronged for midnight release. It's Fallout 4. A lot of people are there. Whole lot of people. Just oh my god, so
At
many
least
people.
7 people.
Like easily over 150.
I was right.
But it's hard to gauge crowds when they're in orderly lines and not a mass. So
It is true. And then what happened?
it was just a difficult night.
Oh, just a long
Then
he
line.
doesn't want to talk
Then
about
there
it.
was Fallout 4, and that's tainting the memory.
It was such a great experience if the game had been great and worth it. But instead it was a
It also taught me to stop being a pussy.
stop being a pussy.
Because of the
Oh, wait, you already
there have
learned
been before I could have counted on one hand, maybe now both hands, several just times throughout my life where I've looked back and been, oh, that person was very strongly flirting with me, and I was just a complete fucking idiot and did not respond to any of those messages.
Oh, someone was hitting on you?
Yeah, actually at the Fallout thing.
Congrats.
They
I look good
smashed.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, you look good all the time.
And
had
in
his-
that crowd, I looked pretty fucking great.
He had his Pip-Boy on.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
No,
this-
man,
One arm
they
was
made
a
it
Pip-Boy.
easy to look good.
Okay,
Other
okay.
arm.
So, you remember Kim?
Yeah.
She bought a Fallout jumpsuit
Oh, yeah.
from work.
Oh yeah.
And she
And
was
bought
like,
the Pip-Boy.
she bought the Pit-Boy too.
Oh yeah.
And so
It's fucking great.
Halloween, she was wearing it,
Mm-hmm.
and I swear to God, I think that probably was my favorite memory of her.
It was a pretty righteous. Like I cannot stop wishing that we still worked where we worked because
oh yeah.
we could do whatever we wanted.
Well, that's because we
As
did our
long
jobs.
as the store
and we-
opened and closed and money was accounted for and sales were made, anything in between that was fair game.
Oh God, that was the favorite job I had ever worked.
It was like chaotic
Namely
good
because
work.
Warlock Christmas was so fucking on point that year.
But like the Halloween costumes that people wore were absolutely crazy. Like the lack of restrictions was a little concerning sometimes.
We
but
just
totally
had
great.
we had a
other
guy
times.
come in just cross dress.
Oh yeah,
All he did.
wasn't like a character or anything. He was just like super like in.
He was
drag.
actually wearing his roommate's clothes.
I've been sneaky. Did we touch on that last podcast?
Nope.
Who's Stinky?
Sneaky
Sneaky?
cosplay. He's I think pro Overwatch player or something. He did a pizza delivery savior cosplay, and it's actually cute as fuck.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah,
saw
you
that.
saw it. Yeah,
I
we
saw
shared
it.
it. We shared it to you.
Yeah, I
Nick,
remember.
I don't know if you've seen this. I'll find the image.
Pretty
but
sure I've seen it, but
That's
I'm
a
It
trap?
always
is fucking quality.
Is
Like,
that a
it
trap?
is a trap worth triggering.
That's a trap card I'm willing to walk into.
Oh yeah.
take off the pants. I'm not even mad.
It was a whole photo shoot. That's just like one of the best photos. But there aren't any worse than it.
That's pretty.
It's pretty fucking good.
The key word on there is like it says send your cutest delivery boy.
Yeah. See, that's why it's not a trap.
Yeah,
Which
it's not a
means-
trap. He's upfront
Not gay.
about it.
No. Now, if they say they're a guy and they're not trying to trick you by being a trap, it ain't gay. See, because you weren't tricked into it. That's straight, bro. You're just two dudes fucking. But now say it was a dude who dressed like a girl and was claiming was a girl and you fucked. Now that's gay because you just got tricked into sleeping with a dude, man.
You just
Fucking,
got trapped.
you got trapped. I love the queer community.
That's like Roman logic.
If I'm fucking a dude who's dressed as another dude, it's all okay.
I could see that being like a thing in Rome. Like it's total. Like it's like some weird law As long as you're just two dudes banging one out, having a good time, being buddies.
I'm
like-
just here with my family.
But if you go around,
Prometheus, let me have a good time.
if you go around tricking men into having sex with a dude, that's not
against
cool.
the law. Yeah, that's gay.
You two just sound like fucking. I'll reference it again. A different Always Sunny episode where it's Charlie and Frank talking to the tranny is her name, at the gym, and Frank turns to Charlie. He's like, "Oh, two dudes getting married. That doesn't sound gay at all." No, man, it's just two cool dudes being married together. And don't think about it too hard, but yeah, that's pretty straight. That's exactly how you guys are coming across right now.
That's exactly how we intended to come across.
Oh man. There's really not a whole lot that happened this past week.
No, I thought that was worth mentioning.
Nothing fun happened.
There was one thing closer to the bottom. The fucking this is just a pretty much nothing for anybody but Michael. But recently in a local fighting game tournament, there was a brand new fucking game that decided we're gonna put this and take this thing to Combo Breaker this year, and that was fucking Cross? I can remember what it's Cross Battle. I put the fucking ad.
Okay.
But basically, it's a game where you shoot marbles and try to
Crossfire.
Crossfire. You just shoot marbles at little hockey pucks, and they like slide into the other person's goal. They live streamed that contest, and the finals went into quadruple double elimination because they kept getting the pucks in at the exact same time on either goal.
Yeah, eventually you kind of optimize it. Like,
yeah, and so like
there is a very low ceiling for Crossfire.
the final match went on for almost 15 minutes because they had to keep resetting.
Jesus.
Yeah, the person actually just left because he was complaining his wrist hurts.
Got that carpal tunnel. I concede.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Somebody got carpal tunnel and conceded.
That's a dishonorable win, right? It doesn't actually count.
I don't know. If
You get your money, but you don't get your title.
If you force a motion player to make enough motions that their wrist gives out on them mid-match, I think you win.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate strategy. It's just out-endure every other competitor.
Just play
Have a shit ton of potassium before you
Think about
compete.
that.
Just play a game, play
Dude,
Turtle.
I haven't had potassium in years. Maybe that's related.
That might explain all these rickets.
Huh.
That might explain why your body can't
What
heal.
does potassium come in other than bananas?
Bananas.
Gatorade
I don't eat.
Your options are bananas.
and Gatorade.
Great.
Nuts have protein for what it's worth.
I had a payday the other day.
There you go.
Or a week ago.
Loaded up on protein.
Jesus fucking Christ. We're gonna get you some Gatorade,
No.
and we're just gonna pour it down your throat.
Gatorade is weird.
You can chug those Gatorade flavor packets like you do Mio.
Gatorade is better too.
Oh, you would like that. So Gatorade had a because there's pre-workout, workout, and post-workout. Like
There's
things
too
you're
much distance in Gatorade.
There's-
There's too much distance.
Yes.
How the fuck are you talking? Are we measuring Gatorade in cubic feet of Gatorade?
Okay,
Is
so
this like your teeth thing?
Yes, it's how the liquid is. Man, you drink some water, you drink some soda. Those they're compact, man. They're nice and together.
Concentrate.
Gatorade has too much distance between itself. It enters the body weird.
Gatorade has too much distance between the atoms.
Yes.
That is a thing you can taste.
Yes.
So clearly, what we need to do is we need to boil it for a while, let it evaporate off some of that distance.
It's not gonna matter if we take off some of the water. The Gatorade's gonna have the same amount of distance.
No, when you take the water out, the Gatorade will get closer. If you put it back in the same size container, it only has one place to go, and that's down.
Okay. What if I put a Gatorade bottle in through a juicer, and then we just compress down the
Drinking a lot of
Gatorade?
plastic.
Did you have a Mio in your pocket this
You're
entire
making me
time?
feel bad about taste in my mouth, and that's putting me at ease. Mio is
You
nice.
had a Mio in your pocket.
Yes, where else am I gonna put it?
What the fuck would you have a Mio in your pocket right
I
now?
don't have a holster.
You want a Mio holster?
Yeah.
People have ranch holsters.
We've got enough yoke doxes. We can make a Mio holster.
I just need to start wearing more pockets on shirts.
Just pull it
A
out.
little Mio pocket.
Here's the thought.
It's in the shape
Okay,
of a Mio bottle.
just do what one of
It's
the
so hard
people
to
who used
get
to work at FYE used to do. Just staple another shirt onto your
I
shirt
don't like this.
to make a breast
I
pocket.
can only do that while I'm wearing the shirt, and that's gonna hurt.
Nope. Just
Like that's
hang
what he would
tight.
do. He would cut off another shirt that was like the same color and material and staple a pocket onto his shirt, and then staple an FYE logo onto the pocket.
It's disgusting.
with enough staples, anything is possible.
I put rum in one of my meals.
That'd be a good way
For
to
some
smuggle it
reason-
into a theater, actually.
Yeah. No, it's way easier than a flask.
Like, if you
Oh,
walk into a
I
theater
thought
with
you
a
meant
bottle of
with Neo in it.
sunscreen...
Oh, no, I finished the meal.
Oh, thank God.
No, if you walk into a
Ooh.
theater with, like,
I
a
was- yeah, I
bottle of
think that's a
sunscreen,
health
people are
hazard.
going to ask you, like,
Orange
what the fuck?
vanilla with rum.
I don't know you anymore.
What do you mean?
Like,
Mr. drinks fucking thin-ass liquids?
okay. How the fuck is Gatorade thin?
In the same way
It's
tea is thin.
It's too far between itself, Michael.
Do you mean that there's just not enough flavor?
The flavor isn't the problem. I've had matcha tea.
Yeah, we tried to figure out what his thing with tea is.
Made it
so
thick
we,
as fuck, too.
they basically gave him matcha paste, like as dehydrated as humanly possible, just battery acid, gritty matcha, and it was still too thin.
Okay. I don't know what I can do to make you see the light that is the Gatorade.
Oh, we tried
Won't work.
when we tried for like a good month, 2 months of just like let's try different things, and he just can't. There's some things in life that are not for Connor. Gatorade and tea are two of them,
They're too light.
The traps.
and traps.
Because I'm not gay, but if it's a dude, you know.
If he tells me it's a dude, it's like traps are like police officers. They have to tell you if they're a trap.
That's why it's called entrapment.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Nick. You knew
Fucking-
exactly what I was
Stop
going
encouraging his behavior.
Never!
God damn it.
Hey, I know all about entrapment. I'm almost a police officer.
What was that? Oh, yeah, 30 minutes ago. So there are a lot of 24-year-olds within 15 miles of us.
There's a lot. How many hot singles are in your area?
A lot. At least one.
Have you installed ad blocker? Did they disappear?
I installed ad blocker, and now all of the singles are gone.
All the hot singles in my area that are ready to mingle are
They
gone.
just-
No.
They just
All the
died.
Asari and Fudanari MILFs.
Wow, that rolls off the tongue way too well.
The Asari Fudanari?
No, it's Asari and Fudanari.
No,
They can
the
overlap.
Fudanari Asaris in
That's
my
all
area.
of them.
Every Asari Fudanari has a horse dick. Is that weird to you?
I haven't really seen enough to know, so yes.
I haven't seen any depictions, but I've read a lot.
And then she pulled
It's
out her
her
horse
frayed.
stick.
It's just a link in the description, and it's just a link to a Bad Dragon page.
She pulled out her, and then it's just a hyperlink. You click it. Oh, okay, I get
Bad
the idea.
Yeah.
Actually, none of Bad Dragon's dildos are Fudanari. All of them are male.
Yeah,
All of them have balls?
which means
Where's
we
my
can
representation?
squeeze into this market.
Yeah. Now, this dick physically is no different than this one you see next to it.
We literally took their molds and just used them, but then we
But-
called it.
We're telling you this one came from a Fuda.
And
It
we
will sell very
we took
well
the
for
balls
3
off.
months, and then we will hit our target market 100%.
And then we just divest. We just burn everything.
We just
Not worse than the Library of
I heard you
Alexandria.
like dick without balls, so I took the balls off the dick.
Made it better.
I don't want to work with Shadman. I will go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is he just like running a jail cell?
I think he's in Russia.
It's just out of it.
I think he's actually in California.
Fuck.
it's close enough to like.
Actually, yeah, there's a lot of kid porn stuff in Cali. That they get away with that pretty easy.
They've got the deep web
All of Hollywood exists.
in
So, I mean,
California.
Hollywood's there, so you know the kids are there.
If you've got Hollywood, you've got the kids.
Macaulay Culkin just did
How-
not end up well.
How did we get to that? How did you jump to him?
When I think Hollywood and kids, he's my first. Like when people talk about
Really?
like child actors, I go to Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, we were talking about child actors.
well,
He's in
well,
a-
I guess we were talking about child actors. They're just unwilling participants in the acts.
There's a camera. There's children. They're
I was
child
thinking
actors.
more topical, like Kevin Spacey.
No, I know, but I think of him whenever I think children in Hollywood, because he's in a pizza themed cover band.
Is he
Every
really?
song they do has like pizza lyrics put in there.
Is it for...
He's not doing well.
No, he's not.
Actually, he's doing better now, but he's not doing well.
Mm-mm.
He went
What?
from like a 1 to a 2.
Hey, good for him. That's a 100% increase.
That's what I'm saying. But when he goes to 2 to 3, he's gonna feel bad.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Being at the upper end of the lowest end is good, but being at the lower end of the lower end is bad.
I feel like that's actually like a pretty good way to think about that. Is if you go from really bad to slightly better, feels like a big jump. But if you go from pretty fucking fantastic to perfect, you're probably not going to even notice.
No, I know that feeling.
At that point,
I
it's
just
too
have
small.
somebody tell me.
Like, hey man, you're doing great. What?
Oh shit. I'm doing
That's what
great.
like Jeff Bezos must feel like all the time. Like, hey, you just like tripled your wealth. Really? It doesn't. Huh. Okay.
No, he knows. You just tripled your wealth. You think I was dodging those taxes easy? I fucking know.
Tax evasion is too easy.
Well, you
Clearly.
just gotta, all you gotta do is not pay it and
Yeah.
run. There's only two portions to that.
Just hide the
At
money.
Walmart. All right, and your total is no taxes. What? Not paying the taxes, and then just run.
Yeah.
You actually have a
You go
card.
out of state to a place that doesn't do sales tax. They just do income tax. And yeah, there you go. You're perfect.
But you take your income only in Bitcoin, which cannot be taxed.
No, what you do is they
that
say,
true?
and your total is going to be $30, and you give them $30 minus 8% in cash, and then
Right.
you just walk. Like, I paid, can't stop me, and just walk.
You cover
Never-
my tax, though. You
Never
cover my
actually
tax.
pay sales tax.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I don't think Bitcoin's taxed. I don't think crypto
Right.
is.
I think
Also,
that now that
Bitcoin has fallen off the radar long enough now that it probably improved. Probably recovered, right?
It did. Actually, last week it went up like
Yeah.
$2,000.
yeah, exactly. They
Good
just-
for Bitcoin.
And then back down to like 7. So it went from like low 6 to middle 8, and now it's chilling at
I think
like
that
7.2
Bitcoin
or
did this
something.
as a way for them to. Bitcoin probably just did this whole fucking mess where they wanted to lower the value of their currency so they could just buy up more of their own currency,
I don't.
artificially inflate the value further down the road.
You can
Oh,
just.
I did that with my stocks.
You can just do that.
No,
Yeah.
You don't have to like mess with the market. You can just
but it's not fun.
send a digit to your account, and suddenly you have 80 gajillion.
No, it's not fun like that though. You gotta be legal
It's
about
like
it.
saying you don't have to murder the orphan's caretaker to take the orphan.
Where / what is
I got it.
Bitcoin?
It's in the mines.
No, like I've never
So
actually
mines
looked
of
that up.
you go to Gondor, you go into the mines,
Yeah.
and you go say, "I would like 1 Bitcoin, please," and they just hand you a pickaxe and they say, "Find it yourself."
It's fair.
What does it look like? I don't know.
Bitcoin.
It's basically just, in 5 years, Bitcoin miners are going to be the Sixers from Ready Player One. And you just go to a local Bitcoin center, strap in, get that digital pickaxe, and get to digging.
I don't. I'm actually pretty wigged out right now. I just realized I have absolutely no idea and have never cared where crypto comes from and what it actually is. I just like, yeah, that's money. Because that's
Yeah.
just money's completely arbitrary.
If
So,
I don't
like,
understand
I just
it,
bought
I can
it.
use it more easily.
I don't want to know how our actual money works.
I don't know.
Are you googling how
this economy
Bitcoin works
works.
right now?
Bitcoin, comma, what is?
No. If the second you figure out what Bitcoin is, it loses all power.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
No, be careful, man. That's
No,
a
no, no,
dangerous
no. You're
road.
working with dangerous things. It's like the second you understand how crisis works, it stops being in crisis. So you just don't understand crisis.
Hey, that's bullshit. You read Perdido Street Station. Understanding it makes it stronger.
Because you're in more crisis. Because you're
Because you
wondering
just
how
need
it
to
doesn't make.
Harness more crisis.
It's like, okay, why is this even working? That puts me in crisis. Oh no. Oh no. If there's more crisis.
That is still easily my favorite hypothetical invention from any media I've ever ingested. It's
Basically-
just crisis energy from Perdido Street
I'm
Station.
flying, but I should be falling. That's something wrong in the world.
Harness
Crisis
that.
energy.
Yep.
I'm
So
using
amazing.
crisis energy to fly, but because I should be falling, that generates the crisis energy. And it's it's like when you like
infinitely generates its
put
flight.
buttered toast on a cat and back, and then you drop the cat.
That's
And
crisis
That's
energy.
crisis energy.
It's amazing.
Nick didn't hear a word we said.
That's okay. He's busy destroying Bitcoin.
It literally just showed up one day.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you understand how Bitcoin works?
Nobody made it. Like, no traceable person. Nobody knows.
The second
an alias just
Winklevoss.
showed, like, the website showed up.
It's like
And then-
Nakamoto, I think.
A pseudonym published a paper saying Bitcoin exists. And then 10 years later, it's worth $6,500. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
No, but so
Well, no.
They named the first ever block on the blockchain the Genesis block.
Nice.
You did good, Bitcoin. You did good.
You did all right, kid.
Where's my Genesis Hydra when I need it?
Fuck you and your Hydra.
I need the Genesis.
Just going to run 4 Doomfalls and have you exile your own shit.
No.
I was hoping you were going to say something else. Like, I was going to run for and then insert office or position where you could somehow punish Michael for his life decisions.
I'm just going to run 4 accountants and they're going to tear you the fuck apart.
Where's all this money going? Not porn? Oh, he's got us.
I can't imagine spending, like, money on porn
There's a news article.
outside of Patreon.
I was about to say Patreon.
Well, yeah, there's that, but no, so Fortnite servers went down yesterday because there was like
Yeah,
an
they
update.
did. Yeah, I was
and,
trying to play.
Pornhub on Twitter just posted at Fortnite, please fix your servers, ours are going to crash.
That's good. They've got a good social media team. I like that they understand that it's just a bunch of anal, but they get a laugh.
I love that they share the statistics of like something
Everything.
wasn't working yesterday. Here's what happened to viewing statistics, because every time Fortnite goes down, they actually have a spike in traffic.
I imagine it's just a real people are playing Fortnite while servers are down. Guess I'll look at porn.
Guess I'll open the web browser app on my PS4
I was
and
just gonna play a battle royale for 3 hours, but now I gotta beat it for 45 minutes.
wait for servers to come back up. Pornhub knows what's up, though.
I imagine other men are that fast. I don't know.
Tab over every now and again, like, nope, okay. Next playlist.
Like,
Wait,
what the
playlists? What?
Organized. They're ready for this.
fuck? Oh man,
It's
Oh,
they've got a
God.
bunch of it's the Fortnite down playlist. It's the Monster Hunter World down playlist. Like they've
Oh.
It
got
just
all-
can't lose its effect. You see something that much.
Yeah, no,
on
why would you have a playlist?
that organized? You gotta refine everything every
Can
time.
you
It's about
shuffle
the
a
search.
playlist on Pornhub?
It's
Nick?
community-
I have questions.
It's community curated.
You know what? I have more questions
The
now.
community comes together. They just
The
throw up
Fortnite
videos on
community
it. Yeah.
voted on this video.
No, it's open source. Anybody can
no,
throw it in.
No. Anybody can throw it in, but the Fortnite community votes, and the number one video, like the top video, in number one on that playlist, the one that opens up community, is the one that has the most votes from the Fortnite community.
They have a graph of trending search, like like a Google Analytics thing, and Fortnite as a search term has been growing like it was like growing and then had a huge spike, and now it's kind of just stayed up there and continues to go upward.
It's because of Shadman.
Possibly.
I don't know if you've seen this Fortnite stuff.
It would
It
definitely
is good ass,
You want to describe it?
and it's actually legal. It's legal.
It's legal and it's ad.
It is legal.
That's all you can pretty much
Shadman
picture
has
it
now
from there.
cornered the Fortnite porn market.
Oh no. Oh god, no, there's so much of it.
I don't
Is it
think.
really?
I don't think.
Evidently.
Nick, again,
Unless-
your porn knowledge astounds me.
Unless people are just watching the same single SFM loop
Oh, they do.
millions of
Oh,
times
Oh,
probably.
they will.
at an exponential rate.
Okay,
Lara
we gotta
Croft
call
does
in
not
our
age.
resident expert on SFM loops. So we need to get him on here one day.
Is that
Fuck, that might be me.
No,
come?
it's the guy who subscribes to Patreon all over the place.
Do I know this person?
Yeah, both of you do.
It's Colton.
Colton. Is it Colton?
I was just, you were saying a C, and I was like, I only know like 2 people with whose names start with C.
Yeah,
So it's
Fortnite Pornhub.
Fortnite Pornhub. New game mode.
Oh,
That
there's
is-
one.
That's just a very honest reaction.
are you in incognito mode?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot of people.
No, I
just,
don't want this in
Wait,
my...
you should be on Nick's phone.
It's a lot of people just doing stuff while
Little
playing
hoe
Fortnite.
gets cum shooted in Fortnite. Lord, loud orgasm, parentheses.
I like to imagine it's just.
I'm just
people
gonna assume it's
paying it.
people playing it while they're getting fucked.
That's,
Penny
there's a
Bunny
few of 'em.
appreciation. It's
It's completely
just
unrelated.
looking at the... No, it's one of the
Oh, got it.
costumes. It's just them looking at the butt. It's the same video 5 times now. Some
Okay.
weird drawn one. Oh, okay, yeah, that one's SFM. Alright, she's dancing. She's doing the emote.
That's just Brigitte. That's not even.
When does she get pounded?
Nope, that's just.
Oh yeah, that's just Brigitte.
That's just
Are
a 20.
you about to ask when does she get pounded?
It
Yeah,
says
it's
the
Fortnite
title.
gets pounded, and it's just her dancing. Where's
It's
the
just the
pound,
emo.
man? I'm not seeing the pounded. Get my dick sucked while I play
Guess I'll
Fortnite.
die.
Worship Pog gamers.
Wait, Pogs?
It's people playing Fortnite, and then it's SFM Fortnite.
You know what?
Is that if you don't put it on Twitch? Like if
Fortnite sexy girl Penny is thick.
Pornhub doesn't have a streaming mode, do they? Like you can't stream
Pornhub Live.
They might.
because that is the next big thing.
Streaming Pornhub while getting fucked?
No,
Yeah, no, it's just
Well,
porn Twitch.
Streaming
no, porn
Fortnite.
Twitch, playing games
Well,
while sex.
The equivalent of porn Twitch right now is Picarto, where it's just porn artists use that for their art rather than
Yeah.
Twitch. Because Twitch doesn't like that.
No, yeah.
But yeah, we could just do Pornhub.
You know,
version
I've
of
really
Twitch.
only ever watched one thing on Picardo, and that's Plague of Gripes.
Of course you would.
Sounds about Michael.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually watched a Picarto stream. I don't like watching streams. I don't like watching other people do
So-
things in real time when I'm not doing things.
Well,
I
I,
like
I
watching
do
the,
it when I'm
like,
doing
super
chores
speed
around the
recap.
house. But, like, namely, I just watch Plague of Gripes because he has very interesting things to say.
No.
So, he did a Christmas stream where Wooly from Two Best Friends Play was on it, and he was drawing Jury from Street Fighter. And that was a phenomenal stream, in my opinion.
Go check it out. We're
Good.
plugging. Give us money. Plague of Gripes.
Plague, I'm here for you.
Just forward
if you
your
ever want to do a
Patreon
weird
to our
Dark Souls
Patreon.
thing with me, I'll do a Dark Souls thing with you.
Why can't other people do Dark Souls?
This
things
week's
with us?
stream, some guy who added me on Twitter is gonna chat with me while I draw Dark Souls.
You know, I feel like there'd be some other things going on in that chat.
Nah.
Hey, that's it. That's it. That's the podcast.
So we're done. We're not going to talk
Okay,
anymore.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
That was episode 50. It was a lot of porn at the end.
Hey, was
the
it going
whole
to be about
show
a
was leading up to
50-minute
this.
podcast?
Yeah.
This is episode 50. We had a 50-minute podcast.
It's thematic.
It shouldn't have any seconds long. You're going to have to
And
cut
we
things.
went over 10 minutes last time, so we're going to go under 10 minutes this time.
Okay.
Look for all the hidden 50s in the episode.
We actually did drop a statistic
Put a 50
that said
over the
50
front
in
of
there.
it, and don't change it.
Bye.